Welcome to Got the Smokes, Let's Ride podcast with me, BTCG episode 025. And this is brought to you by our friends at Camacho. That's right, Camacho. Check this out. Watch this right here. Live life bold. That's right. The boy has got some technology. That's right. And I am scared to death. But it's 5 o'clock. It's time to get in that car, get home, and get to living. The weekend is here. And boy, howdy, are you going to do a great job on this weekend? Am I going to do a great job on this podcast? I don't know. That's right. That was a sound effect, right? Oh, wrong one. Not the right one either. Oh, there it is. I got too many buttons and too many fingers. I'm going to have a good dang time today. Now, whether you will or not, you'll laugh a lot, we'll smoke a little, and we'll have a good time. I am hoping. Let me fire up a cigar because I got a lot to talk about. We got an hour, and I got to run down some amazing awesomeness and some fears of mine. I've got this Camacho, Connecticut right here. Look at that band. It lets you know that this is a Camacho, right? So what we got to do is we got to put this back up again. Live life bold, Camacho. That's right. And if we want to go a little farther, we'll do something like this. Oh, Camacho presents I Got the Smokes, Let's Ride podcast experience with me. BTCG episode 25. I can't believe we made it this far. I haven't missed one yet, and I'm excited about that. So I've got lots of little banners and but I'm going to get into that. Yeah, the technology has changed. The image is kind of crisp. We're going, Bob, shut up. I know it's an hour show. You got to talk for an hour, but we got to fire up a cigar. Let us smoke a cigar so that we can enjoy this Camacho, Connecticut. Oh, with that scorpion on it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I mean, if you're smoking a cigar, you want to have a good experience. You want to have good construction, good smoke, draw, burn, and flavor. Why not smoke a Camacho? Why not grab a Camacho? Why not grab something that's just going to give you that moment of pleasure? Because we only have so much money. That's a fact. And so we're spending money on this. But even more importantly, the most important, valuable resource we have is our time. We can't get any more. We don't know how much we got. So when you spend time smoking a cigar, you're going to want to smoke a cigar that you're going to want. And I think out of all the different flavor profiles you can get out of Camacho, you're going to find one that you want to smoke. And if you can't grab that, then grab you a Davidoff, or grab you a Navo, or grab you a Zeno, maybe even a Baccarat, Zeno Nicaragua. They got a lot of good stuff for a lot of good moments, for a lot of great people, and you are one of them. That's right, the audio. What do you think about the audio? What do you think about the audio? Oh, gosh. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way because I do this every time when I come in here. This is brand new. Brand hammer new equipment. This little thing here is called my cheater mic because that hooked up to my little Rode microphones, and I used to have a microphone that looked like a microphone that I bought off of YouTube for $25. Never hooked it up because that mean I'd have to do all sorts of technical stuff. And we have, like I told you last week, we have new technology. Thank you to Chief. Thank you to Camacho because they sponsored this content. We didn't expect to sponsor this content this year. I was going to get a year in and see if we were going to do it. But Camacho said, hey, let's do this thing. So we ended up spending that money on buying a very professional, very expensive audio system, right? It's got I'll show you. I'll show you the T. Don't look at my shorts. I've got this thing, which has got all these buttons, them little color buttons right there. Those are the ones. Watch. Oh, I can play me some music. I got this. Oh my gosh. And then this is the one here. No, that's not it. This one. There it is. That's the one that's going to resemble me the most. And then we've got this neat little microphone that runs off of it. So this is the real stuff. And so every time I get in here and I put the headset on, because I have to have the headset on, my ears are sweating. Next year, if Camacho still sponsors us and we still get Camacho money, I'm going to say, I got to buy me a different set of headphones. They're great headphones, but I need one that breathes because my ears are sweating a little bit. It's kind of weird. By the time this is over, I bet I'll sound like I'm listening to something in the pool because all the water that is pulled up in my ears. So if you see me shaking this thing, trying to get a little bit of that moisture out. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to the road. That's right. But every time I get in here and I put the headset on and I sound like I'm professional, I sound like I'm on Joe Rogan or something like that. I can't help but remember the little video with the Deadpool actor and Will Ferrell going, I can be brown, I can be blue, I can be violet sky, I can be purple, I can be hurtful, I can be anything you like. Right? So I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I am sorry that you had to listen to that, but I love doing it. And I'm looking at my little webcam. My phone, it's right here. It's not hooked up. My tripod sitting over there in the corner. I'm sitting here at the desk. This will be my new backdrop. This will, because trying to move everything around would be difficult. I shoot a lot of videos, and I want to make sure that I can maximize my time and when I do all this content. And so I am looking still on Marketplace for another one of these big old tall wanted or humidors, one that goes down to a deal where I feel like it's something I want to pay for. I'm cheap, very, very cheap. Right. I was looking for this one. That's the one I was looking for. But I am extremely cheap, and so it has to be it has to be a great deal. And so when I get the third one, it's going to fill this blue space. Those lights were provided by my friend Lane Crenshaw, and so that just kind of highlights it up. There's lots and lots of changes going on. I'm going to be moving my desk around and building platforms and all sorts of stuff, and so that I have room, because I do not want to drop this equipment. That's for sure. Chief would have a cow. I would have a fit, and we would not have good quality technology, and we pay good money for it. Camacho pay good money for it. We want to make sure that we give you really good stuff. Today's goal for me is to get through this. Honest. Come on. Is to get through this, because there's a whole lot more steps. I used to shoot it on my phone. I'd pull up my editing software, which is called Final Cut Pro, and I would just hook my phone up to the computer. I would download it to the editing software. I would edit it and I would put it up. I'd play around with it, change the colors a little bit, change the audio a little bit. And then I would drop that to my computer. And from my computer, I'd have to put it to YouTube. Well, now, after I do all this, then this has to render in here. And then this has to go to the computer through computer ways. And then I have to grab it from the computer. I have to find it, which is hard to find for me. Me and technology don't get along. I have to grab that, and then I have to put it in the editing software, and then I have to edit it, and then I have to go through all those extra steps. So there's an extra 17 or 18 steps, it feels like. Probably only 3 or 4, but for me, it's 17 or 18 steps. And I've got to, there's so many chances of me screwing up. I'm here by myself. I am running this solo. Today is Father's Day. It's Sunday. Saturday, we had second Saturday is the First Lady. Hang on. Aha. Where is it? Oh, did I delete it? No, I didn't delete it. I did delete it. Oh, dang it. And a scrolling banner said, check out second Saturday is the First Lady. And that banner's not gone. But I was going to run the podcast or run the live, and Chief was sitting in the back seat. Within 5 minutes, Chief took everything from me, and I just sat back like a 3-year-old watching somebody drive a car for the first time. It was very, very overwhelming. So today, I want to do my best to create this content, put it out. Being the fact that it is that little web camera, and I've got my computer behind me where I can see myself. I'm trying to make sure that I'm looking at you. I don't need to look at me because I don't look that good. You look awesome. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Look at you. Look at you. But it's true. So I gotta work on that facial whatever. Also, I can't move my head and body much. Usually I will sit back and rock back, and I will change that's part of my presentation. It just makes you feel relaxed, because I'm just chilling, right? And with this, if I sit back, you will lose all the audio, almost all the audio. See how bad that goes? This is one of them super duper hyperbolic whatever microphones, and you have to be talking into the microphone. It's very important. So I have to learn how to either swing this thing when I sit back and talk. Luckily, I have the audio in my ears, and so I can tell when I'm off. When I'm not running. I also have to make sure I'm not breathing too close to the camera because this is not an ASMR video. When I'm smoking my cigar, I bet you're going to pick up the pufferation. Okay. And I've got a lot to learn. So it's like starting all over again. We started off with just my camera on my phone, crappy, very low budget phone. Did it on iMovie and no real editing, just cut the pieces together. Then I went and we moved up to where I was doing it here with a good phone, better lighting, better audio, better control. And then I did that. And then Chief turned me on to the editing software, Final Cut Pro. And so I got better at that. I was learning how to dial it in. And now I'm just starting all over again with all this audio. So I'm very slow on tech. You know that. So it's going to take a while for me to get the hang of this. So I hope you bear with me. You stay with me. It is sponsored content. I need lots of views. By the way, we've got some content. We've got some things here. So if it goes off the rails, I'm going to put up things like tech issues. Ugh, I hate tech. Hang on, I'm trying to fix it. And then when it gets really bad, I have my phone. It will be DEFCON mode. I'm calling Chief to fix this because Chief is Steven. That is editor-in-chief. Why do we call him editor-in-chief? Because he does the tech. I don't. So I also have a little banner right here that goes, you smoke cigars, light up a Camacho or Davidoff or Zeno or Avo. Why not? Let me cut that back off. Oh, look at that. So I'm getting a little bit better at this kind of stuff. Nowhere close. Excuse me. I had the cigars right up under my face and got right up in my schnoz. And so I'm learning all this process. Eventually, we'll have a lot more of these instead of these. I love this little touchpad. And then if I want to feel like DJ Eli, I know people can't stand that thing. If I ever get family unfriendly, which I won't do, I always have this mute button so you can't hear me, and that's another irritating one, but I won't be needing that. And I have to sneeze because I got that smoke up in my nose, so I'm going to pull away from the microphone and sneeze. Hang on. That was a good sneeze. Also, I was playing around with it. Just a piece of plastic that came with all the packaging. And this sounds like, if you close your eyes, don't do it when you're driving. If you close your eyes and listen, this kind of sounds like a fireplace, like you're burning a cigar. You know how cool that is. Right? Okay. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's a totally different vibe, a totally different viewer audience, and not what I'm looking for, because I don't get those ASMR videos. They're very weird. But I am smoking a Camacho cigar and I am living my best life ever. I hope you are today as well. I'm sitting here. I keep looking down at the deck because it's got all sorts of colors and things are bouncing around, and it's intimidating, but it's interesting. It's fun. We had it out here a couple of weeks ago. We had it for the first time, and everybody was over. Chief was over. It was a weekend. Gracie was over. All 5 of the grandkids were over. First lady was over. So I called the first lady. I said, hey, me and Chief had played with it. We got the headphones. I said, come out and check this thing out. Come out and check this thing out. And so she came out, and I was just expecting the first lady to come out. But the first lady is Grammy before she's a first lady. She loves them grandchildren. So she just drug all them little jellied fingers, crumb snatching children up here, and they want to put on the headphones, and they're snatching around. I'm like, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. I just bought this thing. Don't break this thing. Put it on your ears gently and stand there. And so Chief starts pushing the buttons to make all the noises, and the kids are all excited about it, and they're all wanting to talk in the microphone, grab the microphone, say, quit touching the dang thing. I did. I was serious. Serious is a lot more than serious. Like, sandwich is much better than a sandwich. And I said, y'all better knock that crap off. I'm not playing with you. And then I'm not paying attention, and one of the kids is standing over there next to Chief, and he's smashing all the pretty buttons, and I'm like, Chief, Steven, son. And he goes, y'all go away. Stop touching that thing. and they're pushing all these buttons. And so we've ran them out. So they will not be coming in here playing with this stuff. This is Father's Day. I'm shooting this early in the morning. I've got a ton of stuff to do. Then the family's coming over later. And I guarantee Chief's going to be in here playing around, teaching me more tech. He gave me a crash course yesterday. Hopefully this goes off well, or I'll have to shoot it all over again. And this has been a waste of time other than me learning. But I guarantee he's going to be out here playing with it too, and the kids will come out here. And so I'm going to have to make sure the doors are locked and we're not here, because I don't want them coming in here thinking it's fun to play with the new technology, because that's not who I am. I'm like, y'all got y'all's toys. I ain't playing with your toys. Don't be playing with my stuff. And so there's oh my gosh, my phone goes off in my headphone. I can't talk to who's calling me, but I don't know if you hear that. That's going to be interesting to see if you actually hear that, because it's steady ringing. I don't want to answer it, because if I answer it, I have no clue what's going to happen. And I don't want that. That's for sure. But I'm going to have to figure that out. I may have to disconnect my phone or shut off I don't know. That's weird. Did you hear that? I don't know if you did, but okay. So I'll be using this right now. Tech issues. Ugh, I hate technology. I do. It's crazy. All this technology scares the fool out of me. You could give me a radiator cap. I used to say this when I owned a hot rod and custom shop. You could give me a radiator cap and tell me what car you want. You give me enough money, enough resources, and enough time, and I'll build you whatever you want. I can do that. I can. I have the skill set. You want to build you a house? Same rule applies. I can do it. We built this shop, built decks, built fences, built all sorts of stuff. I mean, technology is my Achilles heel. That is for sure. But when it comes to making things, boy, howdy, I can do it. So this is the computer stuff is my my weak spot with my new job. Now that I've moved, I'm still in the car mill. I haven't left the car mill. I'm still in the car mill, but I'm now with a group of fellas. There's only about 45, 50 of us that deal with the brand hammer new cars that haven't been built yet. We actually go to Germany and other countries, and we learn how to build them and troubleshoot them, and then we bring them back and we make them right. We fix them and we teach and train people how to build them, and we follow the cars, and it's very hush hush top secret stuff. You got to have a special badge to get into our area. It's really, really cool. It's out of 13,000 people, there's only 50 people that go there, and people go there to die. I mean, you go there to retire. You're never going to leave there, because it's an amazing job. And that's the pinnacle for the things that I do. And I've been lucky and blessed to get in there to do that. And so with that being said, a lot of the stuff we do is computer stuff. We have to run tests. We have to chase electrical issues. We have to figure out why it's not to a point where I worked in rework, okay, which is where I fix cars. I wasn't a general reworker. General reworker is the cars come in and you may change the seat, you may change the dashboard, you may change the trunk stuff, you may fix the fenders on the outside, do something with the tires, the brakes, or something like that. And that's a very difficult job, but I was a specialist, and what I specialized in was glass. All the glass that's glued into the car, that's urethane into the car. The windshields, the quarter glasses, the hatch glass, also a spoiler, and the sunroofs, and the little antenna we call shark fin on top of the car. It looks like a shark fin, so we call it shark fin. And I can tell you molecular technology on the urethane. I can tell you different times and different temperatures and how it cures, and I know all the exacting measurements. I know the tensile strength of the glass and everything else. I'm good at that, right? I have that on lock, and I don't do that anymore. So now what I do is I chase all the electrical problems and I chase the component problems, and we figure out how to make them do what they're supposed to do. And so I spend a lot of time on the computer, a lot of time on the computer. And so I'm learning a lot about all that technology. So if I'm willing to do that in work, why not be willing to do that here? I spend a lot of time here, and I want to make sure that you have great content, the best content possible. I'll never look good, I'll never sound good, but I'll have a clearer picture and a better audio. And I want to make sure that I give you the best that I can. And it's I hear myself between every statement going, right, like I done ran a marathon or something. So I need to work on that as well. That's interesting. So bear with me if once we get 10 episodes past, when we get into episode 35, if you go back and listen to this one, hopefully the lighting will be a little bit different. Hopefully the audio will be a little bit better. Hopefully all the little widgets and gizmojobbies and things scrolling across the bottom will do a whole lot better. Speaking of that, I feel I should run a ticker across the bottom that says, you smoke cigars, light up a Camacho or a Davidoff or a Zino or an Avo. Why not? Now, I know this is sponsored by Camacho. Let me let that run for a while. Why not? It doesn't cost me anymore. So why, Bob, if this is sponsored by Camacho, you're promoting other companies? Good question. Thank you for asking. Davidoff is the parent company of all these other companies. And so what Davidoff did is they're like, hey, we have this white glove, elegant experience, but not every moment is a white glove, elegant experience. So we want to reach other people. And instead of just putting out a whole bunch of different blends, a whole bunch of different experiences under the Davidoff marquee, let's give them each a marquee. All right, so let's go into Camacho, right? Sponsored by Camacho. Let's get into Camacho. Camacho, we want that to be a rugged, a bold experience. Live life bold. That's their phrase, right? Their catchphrase. Live life bold. We're going to make it a little rugged. We're going to make it a little aggressive. We're going to put a scorpion on the side of it. We're going to give you that jazz, that rock and roll, that cowboys and Indians thing, that deal. But what we're going to do is we're going to still have that Davidoff DNA. So yes, it may be a little bit more aggressive, but it's not going to be strong for strong's sake. There's going to be a reason why, right? And they're good at that. This Camacho Connecticut is delicious. It is a somewhat mellow presentation of a Connecticut. It's got some spice to it. It's got a little bit of ruggedness to it, but it's not bad. The construction is going to be great. It's going to be Davidoff construction all the way across. But let's say you don't want that right now. You want something that's just a chill vibe. You want something that's got that little blues, that little light, mellow, 5-part harmony kind of thing going. That's Avo, right? The flavors hit you totally different. They hit you in a way that just makes you feel like you just sat down with some good friends and just chill, just relax. Maybe a nice brown spirit sitting in your glass, and conversations are a little nice, and you're snapping your fingers instead of clapping your hands, right? It's one of those things. Then you got Zino. Oh my gosh. Now let's talk about Zino, especially Zino Nicaragua. If you've ever been to a Zino Nicaragua event, the yellow bus with Law Ream Tobacco Cupcake, your life will be changed. I mean, you're going to get great cigars, you're going to get great swag, you're going to get great experience, and it's got that whole Margaritaville Jimmy Buffett vibe, that laid back, no shoes if necessary, right? Just chill, just be you. You do you, I do me, and we come together and smoke cigars and have a great time. It's just relaxing, right? And so then you've actually got the Baccarat, right? Baccarat's not too shabby either, right? So you've got that little flavor from Europe kind of thing going on, and it's delicious, delightful, and lovely as well. They all have great construction because Davidoff says if it's got our name under it, it's got to be good. It's got to make sense, and it's got to be something people want. Because let's face it, we don't make cigars to store cigars. We make cigars so people's lives are better, and we can't make them better if they're not in their hands. And if it doesn't taste good, and if it doesn't burn well, if it doesn't have good quality draw and good smoke, then nobody's going to buy it, and then we're not going to sell it, and then that's not a good thing, right? Right. So you will hear me talk about Davidoff, Camacho, Avo, Zeno, Baccarat, and you will. Now, I like the cigars. All right. I don't smoke a lot of Davidoffs. I have some of the Davidoffs I really, really enjoy, but they are more of an elegant experience. The price points are a little higher, so I really need to pay attention to the cigar when I'm smoking it. The Zeno Nicaragua, I've really started to fall in love with. There's other Zenos, but the Zeno Nicaragua is right now what's going on with the little yellow bus and the trailer, a party on the road, and Law Ream is just grinding. He's all over the country doing all sorts of events and having a phenomenal time. Fantastic fella. If you ever go to one and you see him, give him a hug. He gives great hugs, and tell him Bob the Cigar Guy loves him, because I do. Law Ream is amazing. Ask him to tell you some stories. He has so many great stories. He is such a host. If you ever get to go to a Camacho event and Jack Hire is there, oh my gosh. Jack Hire is just the quintessential amazingness of brand ambassador. He is a hoot and a half, and I love him to death too. And he gives great hugs as well. And then there's other people in there in all the other places. But Jack and Law, I've known them for a long time. Jack actually helped to give us pretty much our start in really sponsorships and growing the channel. So Jack is near and dear to my heart, but he's just a fun fella. I really, really enjoy it. And Chief does as well. And Law Ream, he was great in social media. He had a media company, and they were amazing. And he was so helpful in giving me information on how to shoot videos and lighting. He's a fantastic photographer. And some of his videos are still some of my favorite videos today. Their group was called the Republic of Debauchery, and great company. But he wanted to step up his game, and he wanted to be in the Davidoff family, and the opportunity arose, and he is killing the game. He is, and I love him so much. But there's other cigars out there. I know, Bob, this is sponsored by Camacho. You don't talk about other cigars. Bull honky. It is. Bull honky. Let me explain something to you about. Let me cut that ticker off. That ticker's been running for a while. Let me explain something to you about the mindset of Chief and myself. We have had sponsors. We still have sponsors. YouTube will not allow us to be monetized. We can't make a penny off of YouTube because they say anything with nicotine, alcohol, or firearms cannot be advertised. If you ever see a commercial on our videos, we make no money off of that, and it's because Chief has played a song on Chief Talk. That's 90% of it, and it has been copyrighted. Some company said, hey, that's my song. We don't want to get rid of it. We just want to make money off of it. So run ads on it, and we get to keep all the money. And I get a nice little email that says, hey, you're getting commercials put on there, but you can't have any money because you're a bad boy talking about cigars. So we ended, that would have been a perfect place for one of these. Nope. Dang it. That one. I had to pick the clapper. Why did I do that? Dummy. So that would have been good. But it is what it is. And so we have sponsors. Chief and I do not make a ton of money. We don't. We hardly make any money at all. And we just started getting just a little bit to where we could buy Christmas presents and stuff like that. Our money, like this Camacho money, we put into technology so that we can make ourselves better. Chief gets new lenses, new camera stuff. We have StreamYard. We have internet costs. We have electricity costs. We have travel costs. We have lighting costs. We have all sorts of stuff, right? So that's where all that money goes to. But with sponsorships, they are slowly growing. Now, how do we get sponsorships? I'll tell you. You're gonna ask me. I'm gonna spill the tea. You asked me, so I'm gonna tell you. If you asked me, if you didn't ask me, well, then somebody asked me, so I'll say you asked me, and I'm not lying. But it is business. We build relationships. We do. And with those relationships, sometimes we have sponsorships. And sponsorships is business. It's business. So by you watching this video, you give us the opportunity to go to these companies and say, hey, these people have watched our videos. And hopefully we've earned your trust to be believable. We have entertained you or educated you or a little bit of both, or something you want to invest your time into, right? Which is the most important resource you have. So you say, hey, Bob is smoking such and such and so, and I'd like to try that cigar. I get that a lot. Chief is smoking such and such and so. See, he says he likes it. His palate aligns with mine. I'm going to smoke that. And by watching our videos and by doing stuff like that, that lets the companies know that they are putting their hard-earned money into something that is getting them a return. Right now, we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. We're over 9,000. We're not almost at 10,000. We're at 9,200, something like that, 9,100 and change. And so we can go to manufacturers and say, hey, we have this viewership, and these are the amount of views we watch, or that watch. These are minutes, these are analytics, and all this other stuff. And we would like to get you to sponsor one of our products. We would like to promote your stuff. Usually, they come to us. It happened a lot at PCA this year. And we have three different groups. We have one group that they're honest, they're upright, and they're good people, but their product doesn't align with who we are. Maybe they're a inappropriate named or inappropriate advertised cigar with a bunch of nakedness or some cussing, or that's not us. I'm not casting shade on anybody. It's for other people. It's just not for us. It doesn't make sense to who we are as people. It doesn't make sense to who we are as a media outlet, right? When you come here, we want you to know that if you're sitting with your kids or your sweetie, you're not going to have to cut it off because you're afraid we're going to say something off color that they shouldn't hear. That's a goal of ours. We're also not going to cause problems and cast shade on other manufacturers or other reviewers or other anything, because too many people do that. We don't need to build ourselves up. You can't, excuse me, you can't make yourself any taller by knocking somebody else down. We believe that we want to build up everybody possible. Surround everybody with opportunities for greatness, and greatness, you surround yourself with great people, great things happen. That's the way we live our life. And so those manufacturers, we just say we don't G and haw. So then there is the other manufacturer, and there's very few of these, but there are some who will reach out to us and say, hey, I want you to review my cigar. I've actually had this conversation more than once. I want you to review my cigar. I'm going to give you X amount of dollars, which usually is a more than you would expect. I want to give you X amount of dollars. We want a good review. And so then when I see that, a red flag goes off, and I'll send my email back and I'll say, okay, I'm more than happy to do that for you. Thank you for reaching out to us. We appreciate it. But when you say good review, what do you mean? And they say, well, we want you to tell them that's a great cigar. And I say, well, what I can do, this is honest, what I can do is I can do my best in my audio, do my best in my video, do my best in my research. I can smoke your cigar and I can present it as true as possible. If it tastes this way, I will tell it. If it doesn't, I will tell it. If it has great construction, I will highlight that. If it doesn't, I will tell. I'm not going to promise you that you are going to get a rave review of a cigar that doesn't deserve a rave review. Your cigar is going to get the best quality we can give, but it's going to be true. And those manufacturers will reach out to us and say, if you can't promise me a good review, I don't think this is a good fit. And I'll say, well, I know this isn't a good fit because that's not what we do. And there are other media outlets that will do that. They do what they do, but we're not one. Thanks for reaching out to us. Good luck in your endeavors and have a great day. And then I will just throw them in the can, and we won't do that. That does happen, but that's those people. And then there's other people, the majority of the people that will reach out to us, or we will reach out to them, and they will say, hey, we want to do something together. We want to get you to do reviews. We want to get you to do content. I'll say, okay, I'd love to do content with you. We vet them, we check them, we make sure that they're good quality products, that they don't have quality issues where the first cigar is great, but the next cigar is not. Have you ever had those? I know you have. The second release is not as good as the first release. We don't want to do that. So we want to vet them out. We want to see what their culture is within the community. And if their culture it fits in line with ours, then we say, hey, let's do something. Usually, like with Camacho. I'll talk about Camacho. I'm fine with that. This thing's delicious. Like with Camacho. I said, we have this podcast. And this is something that we weren't going to promote yet, but if you're interested in doing this product, we will be happy to do that for X. And we will start June 1st. We'll start at the 6th month. We'll do a year. We'll go from 6 to 6, right? And so they said, okay. And this was a couple months ago. So this was right after PCA. And I said, once the ink dries on the contract, which there's no ink drying on the contract, but it's just a phrase. Once the ink dries on the contract and y'all are ready to go, we are going to start saying sponsored by Camacho. We are going to give you value added. We always try to give more than promised, more than expected. When we do Chief Talk with our sponsors, when we do Drew's Day with our sponsors, when we do Saka with our sponsors, when we do Aganorsa with our sponsors, JC Newman with our sponsors, Natura, Drew Estate, all these manufacturers. When we do Chief Talk, when we do all those other things, if it's a once a week thing like Saka or Drew Estate or Chief Talk, we promise 40 videos a year. Well, why do we promise 40 videos a year and we charge them for a year? Well, if we go to PCA and that falls on a Thursday, we can't do Chief Talk. So that's one day. Christmas, Thanksgiving, we take a week off for 4th of July. Maybe somebody's sick. Maybe there's travel issues. Maybe we're going to an event. Maybe something, right? We just ain't got it. We can't do it. Something happens, technical issues. So we give ourselves a buffer. On our average is 48 to 50 of those videos a year. We're only contracted for 40, and we don't say, hey, we've done more, pay us more. No, we want to make them as successful as possible, and we want to put out content, and we love hanging out with you. We do. It is part of the life that we have now, and we are blessed to have this life, Chief and myself and the First Lady. And so we want to make sure that we give you as much content that you can stand. That's the truth. And so that's kind of the impetus and the way that we do things around here. I keep looking up every once in a while because on this StreamYard content, which I'll talk about StreamYard real quick. On this StreamYard content, it actually says recording 37, 38, 01, 02, 03. So it lets me know that I've got right at 22 minutes left to run my gator before this is done. And then hopefully I can render this to my computer. I can upload this to my software and I can edit it and I can do all this other stuff. Or this has just been a huge waste of time. Right? Where is that one? Dang it, boy. Dang it, boy. There it is. When I get it right and I hit the right button the first time, I'm going to hit with this one. Because I'll be excited that I actually got it right. Right? If I keep getting it wrong, I might need this one right here because, no, I'm not going to use that one because I'm going to not say bad words. I do my best not to say bad words. But let's talk about StreamYard. StreamYard Chief has been doing it for a long time. There's a free StreamYard if you ever want to do YouTubes or podcasts or lives or any of that stuff. StreamYard is a live thing that you can actually do recording off of, and you can get it for free. With that, you get the limited experience. Chief does Chief Talk, and we run off a StreamYard for years now. My cigar went out. He's been using StreamYard for years now, and so he's got the need for extra bells and whistles. Number one, Chief Talk will drop to YouTube and Facebook, and when you have the upgraded, you got to pay for StreamYard. Then you can upload to multi-platforms at the same time. This will end up our podcast. The goal is, let me get this down pat first, but the goal is that I will start uploading this as stream audio only to podcasts. So you can find it on Apple Play or whatever you find your podcast on, and do that. And I really think it's gonna grow our influence, and it's gonna get that content out there even more. But I'm not ready for that. I'm just trying to get a hold of this first, right? But StreamYard has the ability to split the audio from the video. I have all sorts of little stuff. Eventually, we will put up little different backgrounds, and I will have all sorts of, if I want to have a guest on, which I'm not ready for that, I can pull in a live guest. Either one can be sitting across the room on another camera, or they could be in Alaska, and we could, as long as they have a solid connection, we could do that. And so that's something I'm going to be looking and doing. But once again, I'm just trying to learn this thing, and it's not going to be easy or quick. So I'm of a mindset of bricklaying, of foundationing. Let me get the base done and not chase the sparklies, because if I chase the sparklies, I may miss some foundational issues that will come back and bite me. Let me build a foundation. Let me be boring. Let me be basic. Let me get the base of its sound, and then I will add the next level of things to it, and I will enhance it, make it better, and then I will, upon that, build on that, build on that, build on that, build on that, until I'm actually able to do things. I did that with the editing software. I slowly started adding and editing things. And so you will see this change a bunch. You will see this evolve. I will add things and say, you know what, that was just too much. All those noises I keep doing, that's kind of takes away from it. Or the audio needs to be changed a little bit, or the scrolling across the bottom, I need to do more of that, or what does my backdrop look like, or how do I bring on guests? All these things. And I need your help. And I'll tell you a quick story. How's your drive? I hope your drive is great. I hope you ain't got to pee. I hate driving and having to get home and I got to pee. I want to pee before I go, because something might happen and then I can't. Then I gotta do the little pee-pee dance, and I don't like doing that. But like I said, I've been advancing my technology. Lane Crenshaw gave me these lights, and I love these lights, these blue lights in the background. They can be all sorts of different colors. And so I'm shining them up on the back wall where I was usually doing my videos. And I was trying to get my lighting right. So I made myself really dark to make the back shine. So it was kind of like a silhouette, but it was this and that. And Chief has Discord. I don't do Discord. Chief does Discord. He's got a great group of guys over there, ladies. And they're a community and a culture. Kind of like Cigar Dojo. Which the Dojo verse is amazing. I highly recommend you get a part of that. That's Facebook for cigars, pretty much. But in the comments, one of the fellas said, "Hey, I love Chief. I love Bob the Cigar Guy. I love y'all content." Oh, and then he said, "But have y'all noticed his video is very dark? You can barely see him. It doesn't look good." And other people chimed in and said, "I've noticed that too." And so what I did was I went from one extreme to the other. I got a cough. Went from one extreme to the other, and I went a little too far. And so Chief actually screenshot it and sent it to me. And I said, "Oh, okay, cool." So I changed my lighting. I adjusted. I did some research, and I said, "Okay, this is where I'm doing wrong." So now I have a different type of lighting coming from the side. I actually had Chief come out after I did my own work. I said, "Hey," so he went into light theory, which I needed to learn, foundational stuff, but it was getting on in the day and we were almost out of time. And I said, look, okay, all right, you taught me all that stuff. Teach me some more later, but set this thing up where it needs to be exactly for if I'm sitting here and my camera is right here, what light do I need? How do I need it? What temperature, what intensity, what everything, and just set it up and let's look at it. And so we set it up and I take a picture of myself on my camera on my phone. I turned around and look at it. He goes, okay. And he'd adjust a little bit more because what you see in real life and what the camera sees on the phone is totally different. And I had switched my camera around where I was using a screensaver mirror thing where I could actually use my front camera instead of my back camera. And so that added to it a lot, but it changed the way the lighting works. And so we got it dialed in to where it was exactly what I wanted it to be, which is much better. If you notice this lighting, if you're driving, don't pay attention. If you notice this lighting is a Rembrandt lighting, which is where, and it's a little harsh still. I need to dial this in, maybe back it up a little bit or turn it a little bit. I don't know. It's probably too much. Well, no. So no, that's too much, Bob. All right. It's just little details. This little light area right here is brightened up, but this is really bright and you get shadows. And so you're not washed out. So I'm learning about all the lighting and I'm working on all that. So I say all that to say that this will evolve. But back to what I was talking about, which was StreamYard. StreamYard Tech has so many things. It is not a plug and play. It is not a set it and forget it. This is not a Ron Popeil moment. I have to become a technician and learn these things as well as learning the audio and all the buttons and so I say that to say this, please hang with me. Please stay with me. It will evolve. It will change. It will get better, hopefully. And I will need your help because I'm seeing it, but I'm not consuming it, right? You are consuming this content. And so if you see something that could be changed, please, honestly, feel free to hit me with whatever you see. Honestly, I'll use a comment from Steve Saka. Steve's a good friend of mine. He is. I love Steve. He's one of our sponsors, but I just love Steve. We're friends. He calls me friends. He actually said this in an email, and this was so cool to me. But when I send him emails for stuff, hey, it's time to sponsor, or I need to get this, or I need to get that, or I need to get whatever. I'm Southern. I'm country. Right. And so when I start off an email, I'm not good at business. I'm good at being me. When I start off an email, I say, hey, how you doing there, boss man? Or how you doing there, buddy, friend, whatever. I hope all's well. My love to the family. I really appreciate this. Now I have a conversation to start with. I have a chat, right? And then I say, okay, the reason why I message you is because I need blah or whatever. And then I put in my requests. And I do that. And he comes back with, okay, I'll send you such. You tag somebody and say, hey, make sure this gets to Bob or whatever. Or he answers my question or whatever. And then he gets off. Best regards, STS, Steve Saka. And so we do that. Now, Steve's busy. He'll tell you he gets 2,000 emails a day, literally. He has so much to go on. And people hit him up on Messenger. People hit him up on emails. People hit him up on text. People hit him up on comments. People hit him up on everything. He's a social media darling. And so he goes, look, Bob, I don't have time for your long emails. I love you. You love me. That's not going to change. He said he loved me. He said, we now know that. So say, hey, send me a short email of what you need. I need blah, 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 blah. Give me blah, 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 blah. Let's do blah, 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 blah. And then I will comment yes or no. If I want to send it to you, I'll tell you I'll send it to you. If I don't want to send it to you, I'll tell you I don't want to send it to you. That's it. I love you. You love me. Stop sending such long emails. So I still say, okay, this is a short email. How you doing? How's your family? All right. Question is, I still got to say hello. And, I got to say my best to the family. This is who I am. I can't help it. So don't feel like you're like, oh, I can't send this to Bob. He's a nice guy. I'm really not a nice guy. Oh, he's tender. I'm really not tender. Oh, he's sensitive. No, sir, I'm not. Maybe on the bottom of my feet. I still wear shoes outside. But you can just send me a message on a comment, because I look at all comments. I comment back. Say, hey, I noticed your lighting was off, or your audio was peaking, or you're too quiet at this and that time, or you kept moving away from the camera or from the microphone, or you weren't looking at the camera enough. Have you thought about XYZ, za? And I will look at it. And sometimes I won't take your advice. Usually it's because I'm working on a process where I'm dialing in a different direction. There's tons of different lighting. I started off with Walmart lighting, which is what I call, because Walmart is the biggest retailer in the world. And their script, it's not all fancy. It's not all easy or hard to read. It's really easy to read. It's very crisp. It's very clear. The colors are bright and solid, and the lighting is very bright. And so now I'm getting into more of an artistic light where it's a little bit darker, and some of my scripts are a little more fancy. So I'm slowly diving into going in that direction. Bucky's signs on the side of the road. Everybody knows Bucky's. Bucky's on the side of the highway. Real simple. It's got the Bucky logo, red, white, and a little bit of brown and some black, on a yellow backboard, bright as all get out. Very big, simple script, block script that says 246 miles to go, gotta pee, clean bathrooms. That's it, right? That's information. And I'm much leaning more into information. Now, Chief, he is much more into the artistic side. He's great at it. He does all the emotions, all the feelings, all the subtleties, all of this and of that. It's something you're going to want to consume. You're going to want to ingest. My stuff is more of informative, right? Now, part of that is because I believe it's easier to consume that content that way. And that's the truth. Nothing worse than having somebody making a yard sale sign to me out in the yard, and they write it in very thin Sharpie, and they write a whole bunch of extra details and a whole bunch of this and that, and they put the whole address and they put the times and this and that. No, you're doing a yard sale sign, you get a big fat Max Sharpie. Big. Don't do a bunch of colors. Don't let your little 11-year-old daughter do it, because she's going to put flowers and put hearts over the eyes. And yeah, that's nice and that's wonderful, but you're driving down the road at 45 miles an hour. What you need to see is on a big white piece of board, big black sign that says yard sale with a big old hawk and arrow in it, the date and the time, and then put another sign close up to it, 200 yards away. Don't be cheap on your signs. Nothing like going on a yard sale and you drive for five miles, or what feels like 5 miles, and you don't see another sign. You turn around and you leave. Put up lots of signs. Keep going, yard sale, right? Something simple. So I do that simple stuff when I do that. I am evolving into different lighting. I'm evolving into different content, more subtleties, but I still, in the back of my mind, in the impetus of my creation, it still will have a information idea. And I look at evidences in the world that support those feelings. I do. If somebody has paid some design company billions of dollars to make all their signs for Walmart, I ought to pay attention. Sears, Dillard's, interstate signs, gas station signs, how they do signage at the quick pickup stuff at the gas stations. And then you go into a fancy restaurant. You ever notice that? You go into Five Guys. It's very easy to read. McDonald's, it's very easy to read. Now they got pictures, but before then it was just a script that was easy to read. But you go into a fancy steakhouse, everything's all different, and the letters are different, and they flow, and you have to kind of hunt for it. And then they leave the prices where they don't put a dollar sign on it, or they don't put the change. It's like 24 period, $24 for a glass of water, right? But that's because you're in that refined experience. There's a place for it. But my lean is more towards advertisement, more towards getting your attention. If you look in Cigar Aficionado, you will see some manufacturers do all the fancy, frilly, whatever, and the cigars are very elegantly placed with all this stuff, and it's gorgeous. I love it, but sometimes I can't find the information I want. Then you look at something like Camacho, haha, it's boom in your face, right? Look at the band. Don't if you're driving, don't look. You know it's Camacho. It's real simple. I mean, there's not a lot to it. I mean, it's a and all the bands are basically the same, just different colors. Got that scorpion on, let you know you got something coming. What the blend is, Connecticut on this, and then the top says, infamous since 1962. Right? Pretty simple, but it gets the point across. You go into a humidor, you can see this cigar from across the way. I love gorgeous bands. There's one that's got a parrot on it. Gorgeous. Oh my God, I love that band. I forget what company it is, but they've got a gorgeous band with these backdrops. It's embellished. It's got dots and deets and dents in it. It's shiny. It's got little medallions on the sides. Makes it look like it won all sorts of awards. I don't know what it's for. And the script is Teeny Tiny, and it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. But it gets lost with the other ones. But then you see Camacho. You see that. Even Davidoff. Davidoff has a signature to it. Avo as well. Zeno, oh my gosh, that's a big yellow, bright yellow band, right? I mean, and it says Zeno with a big Z on it, right? It's and so that's the way I lean. Now, why did you want to know all that? You probably didn't. If you made it this far, I'm so thankful for you. I'm thankful if you didn't, but I'm thankful for you if you made it this far, because you're sitting here and listening to me ramble. It is more nervous conversation. My cigar went out. It's more nervous conversation because I've got so many moving parts that I'm not comfortable with. I am comfortable with talking about things I know about. And what I know about is what I know about. Not much, but what I do know about, I know a lot about. So talking about the experience, and what do the kids say? I'm giving Camacho their roses, thanking them. And also I will send this to Camacho. I will tag some Camacho people. And, this is just my little way of saying, I appreciate you. And I want y'all to know that we are being good stewards of that which you give us. We didn't just take the money and take a vacation. We are purposely crafting our technology. And they didn't ask us what we're going to do with the money. It's none of their business, right? They didn't care. But I just want to let them know that's what we did with it. And we have more plans of more things to do. I mean, maybe we'll have 2 camera angles. Maybe we'll do, I don't know. Shoot, I don't know. But it's coming. There's stuff to come. And so I'm excited for the future. I am scared to death for the future. I wish I knew Doc from Back to the Future, and I could get in that DeLorean and I could just skip this to a year from now, where hopefully it's much, much better. Or like that movie Click with Adam Sandler. I just click the remote and knock forward 6 months and just kind of see where we're at. But then I would miss the experience and I'd miss the knowledge. And Lord knows I need the knowledge. I have leaned on Chief way too much and way too long to be able. I need to knock the training wheels off and just do the hard things. And so I'm doing that at work. So I ought to do that here, right? I'm a big opponent of, if you're in the rain and it's raining, proponent means I'm on for it. If you're in the rain and it's raining, you really can't get any more wet. It doesn't matter if it rains harder. Just keep on keeping on, right? And so if I'm uncomfortable in learning technology, unless I get overwhelmed, which I did on Second Sessions First Lady, you just keep on. Just be uncomfortable. Get through this uncomfortableness. There's a thing about cows get beat up and can get destroyed in a storm because cows run from the storm, which means the storm stays with them longer and they get beat up a whole lot more. Buffalo, supposedly, I haven't fact checked this, but the story is buffalo, when they see a storm, they run at it. head first, long on into full bore into it, because they know that if they keep running into it, it's going to get them. But if they keep running into it, they will run through it faster. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I am running into the storm. I wish I had a storm button with the thunder. Right? I don't have any of that. I don't even have a piece of metal that I could wiggle and make a like thunder. Dang it. Oh, well, I'll have to figure out how to put that on there too. And the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes. Shout out to Garth Brooks. Not a good meaning to that song, but it fit the narrative. And let me run through some of these. I'm so glad that I didn't have to use tech issues. I hate technology, which I do. Hang on, I'm trying to fix it. I'm glad I didn't need that. DEFCON mode. I'm calling Chief to fix this. I'm so glad I didn't have to do that. I'm so proud of myself. I will put out that Camacho Presents. I've got the Smokes Let's Ride podcast experience with me. BTCG episode 025. That's right. We are 25 in. Next podcast, next week, we are 6 months every week in. Proud of myself. Didn't know if I'd make it this far. But now that we have sponsors, I have to make it this far. But up until now, I've had to just do my own thing. Let's pull that ticker back off. We'll pull up the Live Life Bold Camacho. Camacho. You smoke cigars? Light up a Camacho or a Davidoff or a Zeno or a Navo, maybe a Baccarat. Why not? Why not? If you do smoke, if you have smoked Camachos, Davidoff, Avos, Zenos, Baccarat, leave me a comment. Tell me what your favorite is. And we're out of time. Oh my gosh. I talked an hour. Fantastic. I hope you're home. I do. I hope you're home. I hope you finished mowing your lawn. Shout out to my friend. And you've cut that grass well. Get outside that door. Shut that door. Get in the house and start living, because those people love you. They do. And you love them. Life starts there. Enjoy this weekend. You deserved it. You worked hard. You earned this. Go take some. Go live life. And if you're going to live life, why not? You got it. Live life bold. I love you, and I'll see you next week. I sure hope so. Share this with your friends. I need more people to watch. I do. I'm honest. I'll see you later. Later, Tater. Man, I love you. I do. Let's shut this thing down. Shutting it down.